Hey, AfterBuzzers and Married at First Sight Honeymoon Island fans, we are so excited to break down episode 6, Facing Your Fears. These couples are really digging deep, and I'm really curious to see who's going to go home next week. Can't wait to discuss and break it all down for you, so don't go away.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Love to take it away from you. This is amazing. So much fun. Every week, you guys are the best. This song is like amazing. This is the Weezer version of Africa, which is amazing. But obviously, gotta love Toto too. But anyways, welcome back, guys, to another after show of Married at First Sight, Honeymoon Island. Things are heating up. We're facing our fears. Couples are digging deep. But then there's also some that are kind of, I think, fizzling out as we know it. But before we get into it, I've got my lovely ladies here next to me. We've got Chelsea. What's going on?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, what is it? Wednesday? I'm like looking at a fake clock.
I don't know what day it is.
Wednesday. Jen and Lauren.
Hi.
Hello. Us again.
We're back. We are back, and we're ready to break it all down for you. I don't know if you guys, if you were listening to the last episode, we had to cut it short a little bit. But basically, obviously, we know that Tyler and Isabella went home, and I can say that this episode was so much more enjoyable.
Yes.
I realize how I can really see some of these couples walking away with love and a relationship, and I was like, kind of like, oh my gosh, I really like this show, and I like these people, and I think they're cool. But I feel like there was so much drama in the last couple of episodes that I couldn't focus on anybody else but like what was happening in front of me, which was so wild.
So wild.
It was
you
crazy.
guys.
Well, the only thing that really stuck out to me was the pastor saying spirituality. I'm sorry. You lost me at everything else. All I got was spirituality.
And I'm like, you're a pastor and you can't say that word right?
Well, and I kept thinking it was me.
No,
I thought
it
it was
was not.
me, and my ears or my eye malfunctioned. Or my TV was just not doing it right.
Nope, he just couldn't say the word.
Spirituality.
Missing an R.
Well, we went over spirituality in this episode.
Spirituality.
And they were all forced to face some fears for a little bit. And I think the couple that kind of stood out to me the most of really, really working together was Chris and
I knew
Jada.
you were going to say that.
And I thought it was really great how, obviously, it's really hard for guys to show their fears, and it's hard for them to be vulnerable in certain situations because they want to be macho, and not everybody's like that, but most of the time. And I thought it was great that Chris was able to be vulnerable around Jada and not get angry, you know, and not... and
Because
not,
she didn't want to take it a step further, you mean?
Well, that maybe. And I just feel like sometimes when people are trying to hide what they're scared of and they're scared to face the facts, anger is the first the first emotion.
Defense.
And so the fact that he was able to really open up to her and be like, I'm freaking out right there, and actually accept her care and love was a great sign for the relationship.
She wasn't, and it was cute. At first, she kind of didn't, because they don't really know each other that well. So she was like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? And then you could see when they clicked, right? Like, you could see that moment where he was like, okay, I'm kind of freaked out right now. And she was like, all right, I'm just going to talk to you about what I'm afraid of or how I would do this, or kind of she was kind of distracting him. And I felt like it was like, I felt like she then figured out, how do I communicate with him, and then you could see him really like focusing on her, and I thought it was cute. I thought that was cute. Did nobody else?
No, I did.
Yeah,
I liked this scene because to me it just proved that she was the right choice for him.
Yeah.
And he picked her for the right reasons. Because when she was put in that situation to be the nurturing person that he said she was, she totally did. Like 100%.
And then that probably made him feel good having a daughter.
Yeah.
Like, okay, listen, like, she actually can be supportive in situations where something like this might be like stressful, or there might, like, he's going to need that support. And so will his daughter,
Totally. And I think that for the fact that he was able to kind of be taken out of the experience of being scared, he legitimately was okay being there with her, which that is such a great thing, to be able to be in a situation where you're entirely scared, but for that moment in time, that person that cares for you took you out of it.
Yep.
Which I think just is an ode to Jada and how nurturing you just said she was. And I think that this is showing a true test of her character and how she's going to be that person that's going to be there for him. And Chris keeps mentioning the whole social media fakeness and trust.
just
a little weird.
That's not attractive to me. Like, if I was
what
her, I'd be
numbers
like,
are we
okay,
talking
we
about?
get it. Yeah, like, I just... I don't like
And
that.
she doesn't seem like she's that type. You know what I
No,
mean? Like,
yeah.
where I think it's missing the mark for her.
Yeah.
Like, it's wrong audience, you know?
Yeah.
And so I feel like, but
Is she delusional? Like, because of my social media following. Like, what?
No, I'm serious. If I had a guy tell me
You're not
that,
a
I don't even know what
celebrity.
I
Calm
That's a
down.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little much.
Come
Well,
back down
and
to
I
earth,
feel like
little man.
Yes.
I feel like it's only if you let the social media get to you. Like, there's people that like can go in and
Guys,
like
I
check
have to know
in.
how many followers he has. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
please
Oh
look
my
this
God,
up
let's look
because
him
the
up.
He
second
does.
he said
He's in
that-
like the 100,000.
Really?
I'm
Is he
gonna
really?
confirm her deny.
Wow.
What's his last name? Chris what?
Chris Honeymoon Island.
I was gonna put that in.
But I think this is something that he keeps saying it to the audience. I feel like he hasn't really told Jada. It's something that we keep hearing, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think
you're right.
she's
Yeah,
hearing
I think
it.
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
So it's kind of
But I
out.
thought they did work this moment out well, and it gave me a little more faith in them as a couple because it felt as though they could use this in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what I want to do here too is to go over the couples and then like fast forward to like what they went through this episode, as well as let's talk about their fears that they burned in the fire.
Yeah.
And Chris was trust. But what I found really interesting about him wanting to let go of trust in a sense is that the way it was coming across is that he said that in his past he's been a player or whatever. But like that trust to me is like, why are you burning you know what I mean? I don't
Right.
know. I was a little confused. Was anybody else?
Well, I would like to report.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So he has
Wait,
165,000 followers,
Yeah.
but he
Are
Are you
also
serious? What is this? Wait, let me
guys,
see this.
Audience, listen. He has a photo. If you want to look him up, Chris Q. Chris GQ Perry. So when you
wait a
call
minute, wait a minute.
yourself that,
He
you
had
think
a hat
something.
on in the episode with that on.
I
You
can't
guys,
with him.
he had
He's
a hat
in
on.
his undies,
Well, he's a rapper.
and he lost his clothes because he's a rapper. Where did his clothes go?
He lost his underwear.
Where did he can't afford clothing?
He's like in whitey tighties.
I'm sorry. Do you want a closer look? Describe it to the
I
audience
mean,
what
you
you
guys-
see with your
no.
eyes.
That angle's a little.
Well, he put this photo up there.
Much.
Let me
It's
say
up there
one
for
day
everyone
ago.
to see it.
So if he wants to not be considered a player, I think he's doing it wrong.
Is that indicative of what happened with them? I don't know. But
Right.
yes, he does talk about this a lot in his
Scandaloso.
music career and all these things. They might be playing it up for the show. Who knows? I also just think it was, I think they were playing up this fear, and I think that little stint was kind of cute that they worked it out together, and this other stuff is just fluff.
Yeah. I just think that it was just hard for me because Chris's burning wasn't exactly like from the heart. I didn't feel, and then
No.
Jada's was 100%
Yes.
from the heart because she wants to get rid of things that are like affecting her future and something that has specifically like held her back from really falling for someone. And I thought that it was very powerful and strong the way that she was able to convey that. And I was
She
convinced.
seemed teared,
Yeah.
tearing.
She
up
did,
A bit.
for sure. She got emotional, and she seems not as emotional sometimes.
Yeah.
So
And I just think she's just a really strong and powerful woman. And
I do too.
everything that comes out of her mouth is so smart and productive, and it's something that would like, I would say, push a relationship forward.
I'm just worried about their sexual connection. That's all.
Yeah.
They seem like friends. Like even when they kiss, they're not like making out. They're like,
But I'm wondering if it is because it's only 2 weeks and like let it
Yeah.
progress.
I'm sorry, I've made out
'cause-
more with somebody on a first date, and I've never
Well,
spoken to them
But I
again.
think it's,
So
I
Not
know, but
everyone
I think it's
is
different.
a harlot like you, Jen.
But Jen, I think it's also no, but I think
She's
it's a
not, I'm
different
kidding.
situation because
Yeah.
they know that they can't just be done with each other in a day. They know that they have these couple weeks in the
'Cause they're
honeymoon.
trapped.
In a way, they're trapped.
Yeah, you're-
So
you're-
I
yeah.
think that they know that they can't really like embarrass or do something crazy. They kind of want to like take. It's a weird situation to be in because you just have to constantly kind of be on your toes
Yeah.
and tiptoe around, which
And
kind of
also
seems.
have a camera crew around
Yeah.
you in a private moment. And there's a ton
Exactly.
of it's just odd.
I still think Kimber and Shannon are doing it right because we don't see them making out and doing sex all the time, but we know they've got good chemistry,
Yeah.
so they're obviously
Right.
doing it at some point without fear.
Which let's get into Shannon
Yeah.
and Kimber.
Here.
They just every time we talk about them, they really have done it right. And I think, Jen, you make a great point. They aren't holding back. And I
Yeah.
think that we all get in our heads, and that's kind of what the other couples are doing. And I think that they're holding themselves back from really experiencing this.
They are not holding each other. They're not holding themselves back, but they're doing it in the right way. They're not doing it like Isabel and Tyler, where
Yeah.
they just went all full force without thinking clearly. Kimber went into this thinking very clearly about some stuff and did have some walls up, but rightfully so. Like enough of a wall to like be smart, but not too much to let someone in. I think they went into it in a very logical way with an open heart. And they found the balance between those things, and that's how they're doing it right.
I would have never been like, that couple's gonna make it.
Never.
No, never.
Because
She
one
didn't
wants
even want him.
Because it
Yeah.
felt
She
like
wanted Chris.
It felt like they were like remember it felt like
Yeah,
they were
she-
like second fiddle. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Like,
you?
oh, I'll
okay.
pick you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I really liked them in this episode, though.
Totally.
They pulled at my heartstrings. Like I was watching a movie. Like, I was kind of like, I want that. Like, they're so open.
Yeah.
And so...
accepting of each
Yes.
other.
I also really like that they are acknowledging the fact that they have been physical with each other, and they're like, we just want to make sure it's not just that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at you two smarty pantses.
Yeah.
You've got it figured out. Everybody else, on the other hand,
Their bathtub
They can
scene,
just
I was
go
like,
drunk.
whoa.
I mean,
I was a
like-
little... They were making out, eating strawberries. I was like, I don't know.
I thought about that too. I'm
God,
like,
though,
the
that they at least
camera
have
crew
passion.
probably had to like rush out of there before some
Yeah.
stuff went down.
All right, we're done. Wrapping. Let's go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Continue.
I like that you guys think that they can't control themselves, so it's only a matter of time before they pry at each other, and then all like things go flying. Like they're regular humans and can stop. Just
That's
like
how it
anybody.
seemed.
Like we leave to go to work every day. Like we could do the same thing. You know,
It's questionable with them. Questionable with them.
Yeah, I'm totally team Shannon and Kimber,
Yes.
and I think that they're going all the way. I think they're going to get married, and I think that it's just one of those experiences where, like, weirdly, this is how they found their
I
significant
agree.
other.
They're just so comfortable together. It's comfortable on camera. Like, it's a
comfortable to
genuine...
watch.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a genuine
they're gonna have
connection.
like part two. Like you know how there's like all these Married at First Sight shows. There's like Married at First Sight, and then there's like
second chances
Married
and
at
after.
chances.
Yeah.
And then there's Married at First Sight, like Happily Ever After ? Like that's the name of the show. ? And then there's like Married at First Sight, Having Our First Baby, or whatever it is. I think these people are gonna be like Married at First Sight, Having Our First Baby ? Because she doesn't want to have one, and he does. So
Do you feel like she'll change her mind? though?
Totally.
I think so.
I do too.
I think she's just gotta fall in love, and that's the end of it.
She'll get
Yeah.
pregnant and be like, oh, guess I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think also too one of her fears was I need to stop projecting my past relationships onto this one,
Love
and I
that.
think that was amazing, and I think that's kind of what she was getting at because it had nothing to do with her past relationships. It was things with herself, but I think maybe her past relationship might have played a little bit into it because she did see
Of
like
course.
So I think that she definitely will grow with the idea, especially when you know that someone loves you so much, you can see more with them, and it opens up different things you've never seen before because of them.
Yes, agreed.
I really like the exercises in this episode too. Like I thought the burning of the fears. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Very
I would
powerful.
love to. I would absolutely do that. I'd bring my boyfriend and be like, write it down.
Yeah.
Be done with it, and we're gonna put it in the fire. And
I've
that's
done
the end
it.
of it. Move
Same.
on.
Yeah.
I've done it.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I think it's a great exercise. And moving on to Brandon and Janna, we find out that Janna's falling in love, and I think
How?
I
I'm
don't
still
know.
confused.
She doesn't even want to hold his hand. I've
I think
never
it's Stockholm
seen that.
syndrome.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
I don't
think
understand
that. I think that personally, Brandon is just really uncomfortable in front of the cameras. So I think as soon as the cameras go away, I think she's different around him, and I think that that's what we're not seeing. And so obviously, it's easy to capture, Brandon being a little held back,
And they're
then-
trying to play that card with
Exactly.
her anyway.
They're
Yeah.
trying to make her the villain, and the fact that like she smacked Tyler's butt or whatever, they're trying to play.
So
but
dumb.
like she openly was like whatever, and all the girls were like, I don't think that's something you should be worried about. So I
Yeah.
think what they're trying
It's
to cultivate.
insight into the reality of what's
Last
happening.
time we talked to the guys, they were like, you don't deserve this. She needs to give you more. It shouldn't be just you giving. She needs to give too. So maybe he's trying to like be a little bit overconfident and like just confirm to them. Like if he tells them that, then it's him saying, like he's kind of just being like, oh, we're good. We're fine. I'm in love with her,
Yeah.
So
I think
maybe
he's letting some outside variables, affect his actions and opinions maybe, and maybe he just needs to focus on her a little more. I think it's just hard for him to do that because she is a little closed off.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they can't work out and that she's not into him and that they couldn't be a couple. It's just this is kind of a weird situation.
And
So.
let's not forget she did say, I don't know why I'm feeling certain ways because literally I'm staring at a man that I could see myself marrying.
say
Same.
that. Yeah.
I feel the same way about him.
He's perfect.
Oh
I feel like
my
all the guys on this
goodness.
show are great.
He also looks like he works out.
I love him so
Yes.
much, guys. I am sorry, Brandon, out of here. I want to date him. I don't even know
you
where
kind
he
of look
lives.
like Brandon. I think you might be into
Yeah,
it.
you
I just need to change his name and we're set. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Janna.
That was a weird take on Jonathan. So was Kimber. Where's Lily? I don't get it.
But the question is, would you hold his hand?
A million. I would do sex with him.
Some other
Like,
things. She would
that's
hold.
mind blowing. For how old is she?
They're both in their
5
like.
years
I
old,
feel like
28,
they're
I
both
think, guys.
young, like late 20s.
That's
She's
so
28 years old.
juvenile that she
Yeah.
will not hold his like having sex. I could, I see that.
Yeah.
Or whatever else, but holding somebody's hand
Yeah,
is
come on.
so difficult for her. The fact that the experts have to address that when they walk up together, like, oh, you're holding his hand. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
That's
That
that's
feels
a good
very
point.
juvenile.
That
I'm
would
like, how are you gonna get
embarrass me
married
so bad.
at the end of this or
no,
engaged?
No, no.
Painful to
You
watch
guys,
sometimes.
Man. Last but not least, guys, Katie and Eric.
Definitely least.
I don't.
Yeah,
I think
least.
that next episode
Least
they're
on my
going
list.
home.
He is using Chile or wherever the hell he's going
Colombia.
in South America.
Colombia.
Great. One of those South American
Chile.
countries. Great. One of those. He's like, goodbye, because I have this work here. Like, that BS. I call BS. Like, he's not
Just
into
well,
her.
it's
He's
not
always
into
about
her.
himself. Every time he talks, it's about himself.
Which-
Even when they first met, he was like, "Oh, I do this and I travel here," and she's just like looking at him,
You're
and I'd
right.
be like, because in my mind I was like, I would be like, "What are you even talking about? Like,
Right.
we're talking about each other.
Well,
Like, we're
that's
not
what
talking
he.
about."
That's what he burned in the fire. Was I
Yeah.
need to stop talking about myself.
Yeah,
And
good
not-
point.
Yeah, you should let that one go and never let it come
Son
back.
of a diplomat. I'm telling
He's
you.
a little bit self-absorbed,
Absorbed,
and
for sure.
they're not going to work out. They're the next one to go. That's my prediction. Goodbye.
Yeah, and I definitely see that Katie is growing a little bit, and you can tell that I think she's going to really take this experience, grow with it, and find whoever's next is going to be the next best thing. But this is definitely, I don't see this happening whatsoever.
No.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time really quick. I just want to get everybody's last minute predictions on who they think is going to stay and who they think is going to go home.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Katie and the Chilean.
Going home.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
And I think that Kimber and Shannon are gonna be the winners.
Absolutely. 100%.
So you think that Shannon is going to propose?
Yes.
Okay. And what about Brandon and Janna?
I think they're gonna leave the show together, but I think they're Splitsville.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Agreed.
What about Chris and Jada?
Who? Just kidding.
They are gonna run through the show, and then they're gonna not be. I mean, he's in his underwear on Instagram. It's
He clearly does not respect their relationship because he's got clothes in his closet. I'm sure you could wear them.
they
You're making a choice. Okay.
They might not be in a relationship. So
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think Janna is going to propose, Shannon's going to propose, and then Chris and Jada, you're right. I think they're going to leave not proposing, but saying that we're going to be together, and then Eric and Katie are bye.
goodbye.
I feel like Janna's going to propose to Brandon and she's going to say no.
I can't with them.
I
Maybe.
truly, I think
Man.
he's going to, and she's going to be, if she does say
It's a
yes,
disservice
it's not going to be like
for everyone.
a confident yes. You
Yeah,
know,
totally.
It's going to be
I
like
wonder if they're-
I don't know.
I wonder if they're gonna do like we talked about, like another show based, because some of these couples are really interesting. And you guys, just in case you want to tune into a show like this, just remember that AfterBuzz TV is here for all your favorite after shows. We have reality TV, drama, sci-fi, all the things. So if you guys, we really just need your help. So please go to YouTube and subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels, and then we will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you can opt out of all those pesky notifications. Don't worry about that. Just
Unless you want it.
Unless you want it. Just hit subscribe for now on this channel and check out all of our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well, because there's a million of them. And then comment, and we'll shout you out on our show and let you know that we appreciate you. So thank you for being the best super fans ever and making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk. We're here for you. We love this show, and if you like other shows like this, just go on YouTube and search
Yes.
away.
Yes.
We love you guys so much. Please make sure you're commenting and subscribing and giving us a 5-star on iTunes podcast
Shout
if
out
you're
to
listening.
Coffee Time in the chat room.
Yes, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We love you guys, and we will be there. We will be here next week talking about all the family
So, I
drama
was
that's
gonna
about
say,
to go
what do you
down.
guys think it is? The family's coming?
Yes,
Oh,
it
it
is.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so
I saw
excited.
the
Cannot
extra
wait.
So
previews.
excited.
It's going to be juicy. Chelsea, where can they find you on social media?
Chelsea Snyder 0 on all media platforms. Please follow.
Jen.
At Jennifer Golden, all the places.
At Lauren Leonelli on all the social meds.
And hey guys, Allie Nasty here. Find me on Instagram at AllieGirl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.